Hello and welcome to another pattern recognition video. And today I have more mate in two puzzles to help you. I definitely recommend that you solve chess puzzles on a regular basis. One of the fastest ways to improve your chess is to do that regularly, but don't just solve a puzzle one time and then forget about it. You want to grab a group of puzzles and then solve them multiple times. So I have 20 problems for you today. You can go through these 20 and then go back through them multiple times. It takes about 7 times of seeing something to burn it into your long-term memory on average. So that could definitely help you. Otherwise, you could just forget the patterns that you learn if you don't see them again for a long time. All right, here we have white to move. Black has just captured a pawn here with the queen and is attacking our rook, threatening a check. So it's white's turn to move, and we're looking for a mate in two. So definitely look for checks first. I can't stress that enough. Checks are the most forcing move, so you definitely want to look at those first. And before every move that you make, checks, captures, and threats in that order. So the queen could capture with a check here, but the king could just capture the queen, and doesn't look like there's a follow-up. The other option is the queen capturing here. Well, that looks more promising. So at any time, pause if you need more time to think. If not, here we go. So capture with check, forcing the king into the corner, and then the queen can capture here with mate. So check and mate. All right. These problems are rated 500 to 1500. So for pattern recognition, you want easier problems. If you want to work on calculation more, then you want maybe more difficult problems where you have to think a lot more. But here we're trying to find problems that aren't so difficult, but I want to look at a lot of different mating patterns. So here, we captured a pawn, and rook and queen on the 7th rank is a good pattern to know. All right, moving on to the next problem. Okay. Rook on the 7th rank is cutting off the king. And what checks do we have? Well, if we check here, the king will just move forward out of the trap on the back rank. But if we keep the rook there, the king is limited on its options. So now let's look at other checks. The only one I see is this knight move. So knight checks. And then this could lead to a good pattern here. Let's see. Depending on what the king does, there are different patterns here. Well, we can't get our bishop involved that way to follow up. So we may have to go this way if the king moves to this square. And so that would lead to a mate because the knight would be cutting off any escape. But if the knight moves here, the king goes into the corner, then we have a very famous mating pattern of rook and knight delivering the mate with the rook here. All right. So pause if you want to think that out in your head or go back over it. If not, here we go. Check. And the king does not go into the corner for that easy rook and knight pattern. But the knight is cutting off these squares. The rook cuts these off. So we can deliver a mate with the bishop here. All right. That was a 1474 rated problem, but hopefully you found that one with no issues. Let's continue on here. Okay, queen is just captured here. Now it's our turn. What can we do? Okay, there are back rank mate threats possible here. So, what can we do on the back rank? If the queen goes here, the rook will capture. Now, another possibility, do we bring the rook up and deliver a check? Well, then the rook could capture, and the queen cannot capture because of the knight covering. So, maybe we have to change up our order a little bit. Move the queen first, delivering check. The knight will have to capture, and then our rook can deliver mate. All right, here we go. And mate on the back rank. A nice pattern, definitely a worthwhile pattern to know. Study those back rank mate patterns. Okay, on to the next one. We just had a capture here. So we're looking for a mate in 2. Okay, definitely look for those checks first as they're most forcing. The only ones I see is the knight here or here, but which one is best? So take a look at that. Pause the video as always if you need more time. If not, here we go. So, of course, if we go here with the knight, the pawn can capture us. So, we're going to go here, forcing the king out towards the center, and then mate with the rook, because our knight will cover these squares, preventing escape. And the king stays in the corner anyway, and we deliver mate with the rook. All right, next problem. Queen has just moved forward, lining up perhaps on our king side, our queen side, where our king is located. All right, how do we mate in 2 here? Mate in 2. Okay, look for the checks. All right. Well, what checks do we have? We have queen checks here and here. We have a pawn check here, but I don't see a promising follow-up after that move, after that pawn push. Oh, so queen move looks best. Pause the video if you need more time. If not, then I'm thinking queen here delivers check. The only place the king can go is here. And then our queen can move down here, delivering the mate. All right, check and mate. Well, I hope you found that one. Let's move on to the next one here. And I'll try and speed it up. You can always leave comments if you think I should be going slower or faster. If I'm explaining too much or not enough, feel free to leave your opinion and let me know. And if any of you do not like leaving long messages in the comments, just leave an emoji, a smiley face or a frowning face if you didn't like something. Don't worry, you won't hurt my feelings. I'm always looking for feedback. Let me know if I need to improve something or if you have any good ideas. I would thank you. All right, next problem. Queen is captured here, so now it's our turn. What can we do to get our attack in? All right. Well, queen checks. We probably don't want to go here or we'll be captured. If we go here, we'll be captured. If the knight goes here, it'll be captured. So we don't want to move our knight. So the other queen off to the side, or excuse me, the other queen move to the side here, delivering a check. And that looks to be the way to go. because if the king moves here or here, we can slide the queen over and deliver mate on g2. Also, if the king goes here, it's still a mate. All right. Well, I hope you were able to find that one. Here we go. And mate in the corner. Okay, on to the next one. The queen is centralized and is attacking our queen. Okay, so that's pretty dangerous. But we have a check, and it's a discovered check. So, hopefully that'll help you solve this one. Take a look. Pause if you need more time, and if not, I'm thinking bishop drops back, blocking the attack on our queen with a discovered check. The king will be forced to move, and then we can deliver mate here on h7. So a good little pattern to know. And mate. All right, next problem. Capture of the knight. Our bishop's under attack, but we have a mate in 2 here. Another good pattern. So anytime there's a fianchettoed position, it's possible that the squares around the king side here can be weak, because especially if there's no bishop in here covering these weak squares. So I'm thinking the check, so always look for those checks. Check, and we'll go here to deliver the mate. So check and mate. All right, next problem. Oh, this is looking dangerous. 2 pawns, passed pawns, pushing forward, getting ready to try and promote. What can we do about it? All right. Well, luckily, this pawn is really cutting off the king and trapping it on the back rank. So we just have to figure out how to get to the back rank. So that should give you the obvious answer here, and then mate on the back rank. There we go. A common back rank mate pattern where this pawn cuts off the escape and you're able to deliver a back rank mate. All right, problem number 10. Our queen is under attack. What can we do? Well, look for the checks. We could check here, but the king could run here. And then maybe here. After our knight would jump in on the king hunt. So maybe we deliver a queen check here first, forcing the king here, and then our knight jumps here, delivering a mate. Looks like that works. All right, check and mate. So an interesting pattern there. A lot of times a queen and a knight can work well together hunting the king. All right, we have 10 down. I'll try and knock out 10 more, so let me speed it up a little bit. Okay, king has dropped back. Pause the video at any time if you want to think on your own. What can we do here? Okay, knight is cutting off this. Bishop is cutting off this. So we could drop back, delivering a check. King would be forced to move here. And then, we just bring the other knight in and deliver the mate. Okay. And checkmate with knights. And they were helped out by the bishop here. So, on to the next one. King has moved forward because it was in check by our knight. So how do we continue here? Well, as usual, look for checks. And the only check I see is the queen here. And remember, when a king is in check, the only thing you can do is try to capture the attacker, block the attacker, or run. The pawn and the knight is cutting off escape squares. So here, 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 and here, they're all covered. So the king is kind of in a stalemated position. And whenever a king's in a stalemated position like this, it's good to look for checks that can finish him off. So queen here, the only option is to block with the pawn, but then we can capture and deliver the mate. So check and mate with the help of the knight. Once again, knight and queen working together can be pretty strong. All right. Pawn is dropped back here. Doing what? All right. Well, we're looking for a mate in 2. So look for those checks and hopefully you'll find this. So here we go. The queen will go here, taking advantage of this back rank and this E1 square only being covered by the rook. So when the rook captures, our rook can capture and deliver a back rank mate. So queen sacrifice leading to a back rank mate. Nice little pattern there. All right. The king was in check by the rook and runs forward here. But it's not looking so good for this king. How do we press our attack? Well, what checks do we have? If the queen goes here, it'll be captured. Queen can't go here, the king will capture. So maybe queen checks are not what we want. I think we need to go with a rook check here. If we do that, the king could move here or here, but our queen would be able to deliver a mate here. Oh. If, after we move our rook here, the king moves forward to here, our queen would be able to deliver a mate again here. All right, so here we go. Check and mate. Another good pattern of rook and queen working together. Although here they captured, or excuse me, mated the king right in the center of the board. All right. Let's see. Rook is blocking the line of our rook on the F file. So how can we take advantage of that? All right. Well, if we look for checks, what if our rook captures here? If they capture with their rook, then we can deliver a back rank mate. But what if we capture and the king just moves into the corner? Well, then we pick off a free rook, I guess. But do we have a mate if they go in the corner? So if we go here and king goes into the corner here, then we would just be ahead in material. So let me see if there's an actual forced mate other than this. If he captures that way, that would be a forced mate. But if he goes in the corner, then we're just ahead in material. All right, do we have anything forced or more forcing than that? I don't know. That looks to be the best option. So here we go. That, yeah. And now, he could have gone into the corner, but then he would just lose the rook. But we're able to deliver a mate. So another good pattern is when a knight and a rook works together. Now, a lot of times the rook will be on this square, F6 here, and then the rook could either mate here or here with the king in the corner. That's a good pattern to know. All right, let's finish these out. Let's see. The white king has moved to the edge or closer to the corner, I guess to stop this pawn from promoting. So, what can we do here? Well, do we push the pawn and deliver a check? But then what is our follow-up? If the king goes into the corner, then we deliver mate with the bishop here. But the king doesn't have to go into the corner. Well, I guess he does, or else we're going to have a mate on the next move. But that looks to be the best way to go. Checks are the most forcing. So if the king goes here, we promote the pawn and deliver a checkmate. If the king goes into the corner, our bishop will deliver the mate. So here we go. And it's the bishop. All right, next problem. They're attacking our queen. What can we do here? Well, do we sacrifice the queen? The king captures. Then if we bring our rook up, no, that doesn't work because the bishop can capture that. So, do we capture this pawn delivering check? If the queen blocks, we capture the queen here, and that would be mate. So, yep, that looks to be the way to go. And mate. All right, we have 3 more left. Our rook is under attack. What do we have going on here? Well, looks like we have a mate. So see if you can figure it out. Pause the video if you need more time. If not, this is what I'm thinking. Sacrifice a rook. They capture. The other rook delivers a mate here. All right. Check and mate. So once again, knight and rook working together. And here we had a pawn, well, multiple pawns helping out, covering here and here. All right. What was that? A capture by a pawn. We have a lot of pieces hovering around the opponent's king. So, what can we do here? All right. Looks like a rook sacrifice. So figure it out. Calculate in your head. Pause if you need more time. Here we go. Rook here, delivering a check. If the king moves and runs, then our queen jumps up, delivering a mate. Okay, if the rook is just captured, if we go here, pawn captures, well then our queen just delivers a mate here as well. So, and mate. All right, the final problem. What will it be? All right, we just had a capture. Our queen is under attack. What do we do? All right, I'll tell you what we do. We deliver a checkmate. Okay, hopefully you found this one. Pause if you haven't. Figure it out. If not, this is what I'm thinking. We sacrifice a rook. Now the bishop is cutting off that escape square, so the king will have to capture. And then our queen can jump up here, delivering a mate. All right, here we go. Capture and mate. All right, there you have it. 20 mate in 2 problems. And remember, it's always good to go over problems multiple times. So run back through these problems and, or find your own problems and go through 10, 20, 50, 100. Go through them once with plenty of time, like 5 minutes or whatever you need. Then cut that time down to maybe 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1, half a minute, until the 7th time you go through those problems, you only give yourself 10 or 15 seconds. And by then, they should be so burnt into your memory that you can just fly through those problems quickly. And hopefully that'll help you recognize them more when you're playing in your own games, for attack and defense. All right. Feel free to leave any comments, like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day and good holidays as well.